Welcome to our first video of 2026, and we're joined back in the workshop with this Boost Blue FL5 with only 400 miles on the clock. So to give you a bit of a background on the FL5 and the customer who owns it, Bazir came to us back in 2015, a year after we'd started the business, with his FK2. Brand new car at the time, and he spent thousands on it. He was quite well known within the community, and after a few years away, he's now back in a Boost Blue FL5.
Before we get into today's video, there's one thing I'd like to talk to you about. We've been looking at our channel stats and noticed a staggering 84% of you have yet to hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy the content from us and you'd like to show your support, please hit the subscribe button. It's the one free thing that you can do that really goes a long way. If you'd like to go a step further, we've just dropped a whole new line of merch to our website this week. But for now, let's get straight back to today's video.
Straight out the box, the car's got 400 miles on it. It's already got the Adro body kit on, and we've fitted a load of parts under the bonnet this week. Let's take a look around. So when the Adro kit first came out, I was taken back by seeing all the images on social media. It really looked a good kit, and I couldn't wait to see one in person. Now that I've seen it, not disappointed. The rear wing looks great, the side skirts add a little bit extra flair to the side of the car, and the front splitter, it speaks for itself. I'm really impressed with the fitment of this kit. With Tokyo Auto Salon on this week, we've seen plenty of new offerings come to the table. We've seen the likes of Arta, Axis, HKS, and Varis all bringing new offerings out this week. Although, I still really like the Adro kit. Let us know in your eyes what you think is the best kit for the FL5. But to get around to what we've been up to today, we've dropped the car on some spoon springs, and I can see exactly why they are a top seller for us. They drop the car 20mm all round, but they give it a really compliant ride. Tucks in nicely to the corners, it's nice and flat when you need it to be, but then compliant enough that it feels comfortable to drive day to day. We've been busy underneath the car. We're fitting rigid collars along with the springs, so again keeping the alignment nice and in check, exactly where we want the car to be. But we've also been busy under the bonnet. Let's take a look. So you can see here it's getting a little bit colourful, and that is one of the main things that Bazir wanted to achieve underneath the bonnet of his car. He wanted it as bright as you can, as many different colours and a whole party going on underneath the hood. So we've got some more silicone hoses coming, and we're going to be choosing different colours throughout. So we've got radiator hoses, we've got the top hoses here, and we're going to go for reds, yellows, blues, greens, everything that we can choose just to throw as much colour underneath this bonnet as we can. Some of the parts we've been fitting under the bonnet this week, we fitted the full Eventuri Intake along with the B3 carbon tube. And also fitted a PRL Intercooler and turbo boost pipe kit. And in addition to that, an HKS blow-off valve, which on the FL5 mounts really nicely down here as opposed to where it was previously on the FK8, which could interfere with the Eventuri. Along with some of the other parts we fitted this week, we've also fitted one of our Dream OEM style turbo heat shields. Now this heat shield was derived from customer feedback and the want for a more complete shield to cover more of the turbo area. The turbo heat shield now covers the full turbo and becomes a real focal point of the engine bay. Along with the parts that we've been supplying and fitting this week, Bazir also brought along a few parts of his own. So he brought along a Chase & J's fuse box cover, ECU cover, rad cap, and I believe we've also got a dipstick and oil cap to fit when the new rocker cover arrives. We've also got a few APR products to get fitted. We've got the cooling plate and the side fender vents also to go on, along with the Chase & J's dress-up bolts. With the car flipped around, you can see we've been busy on the rear end too. We've also fitted a complete Milltek exhaust system with the black tips, so it really ties into the rear end and complements the rear bumper. although if anything, I'd probably like to see the tip sit a little further out just to tie into the rear diffuser a little bit more. The rear spoiler has also benefited from some of the Chasing J's dress-up bolts. We've got the new titanium hardware across the top here and some of the Adro specific hardware along the side. Down the front end, we've also fitted some of the Al Plus stone guards along the front arches there to stop any stones coming back through and damaging any of this lovely blue paint. With all the modifications complete, the car was ready to get onto our dyno. So it spent a half a day on the dyno with Romain from RaceCal, getting the ECU calibrated and refined for the new setup. Now that the car's finished up on the dyno, we managed to produce a healthy 394 horsepower, 384 pounds-foot of torque. The car's going to be super efficient, super reliable, and bring plenty of smiles to Brazier's face once he's driving the car. I can't wait for him to come and pick it up. So now the car's looking the part, there's only one thing left to complete the overall look of the car, and that is a set of wheels. They're not the MF10 sitting beside me here, they're not the FR10 sitting up there, but I can tell you they're on their way from Japan. Let us know what you think they might be in the comments below. Slightly different format to our video this week. We're back in the workshop doing an installation. Now, previously last year, we were traveling around with Time Attack, competing at different circuits around the UK. We had a lot of fun doing it, our team really enjoyed it, but our viewers were skipping a lot of the racing and cutting straight to the show sections. That means that this year we're going to change our format. We've got a lot more installations to bring you. We've got some really great builds coming up. We've got a full Mugen build coming up soon. But for this year, we're going to be covering a few more shows. We're going to be getting out there, meeting the community, meeting the owners, and bringing you some of what the UK has to offer. So with that in mind, there's only a couple of things left for you to do. That's hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, give the video a like, perhaps leave us a comment below, and we'll see you on the next one.